UFC 279 weigh-in recap show, and there has been a massive change-up to the card. Main event, Tony Ferguson fights Nate Diaz. Co-main event, Kevin Holland fights Khamzat Chimaev. Featured bout of the night, Li Jingliang versus Daniel Rodriguez. We are going to talk about each of the matchups on this card after seeing the fighters on the scales. Smash that like button. If you're new, subscribe. Turn those post notifications on and share the video as well. Let's get into it. We'll start with the prelims and then work our way up to the top where we'll have brand new predictions for these new fights. Still, great card in store. First fight, Darian Weeks versus Yohan Lainesse. I have been on Weeks throughout the entire week. I do think the cardio is a factor. Lainesse, a really powerful puncher and dangerous early. Weeks proven durable, has a solid gas tank, good work inside of the clinch, decent kickboxing skills, and I do think will weather that Lainesse storm and possibly TKO him late. As far as the scales, Lainesse looks excellent, as does Weeks. We don't have the face-off from the official weigh-ins here, but I will bring up an image of the face-offs here. Let me pull this thing up. Image of face-off number one. This from the ceremonial weigh-ins. Let's pull it up. Slide it over just a smidge. I mean, it's not a great angle, but what you see is two very well-built individuals in shape, but the proven cardio of Weeks to me is a factor. I can't bank on Lainesse just by a knockout, especially that Weeks is proven fairly durable, hasn't been stopped before. I think that Darian Weeks could win a decision. I also think late KO, TKO. I think Weeks for the win very confidently. As far as betting side, Lainesse very slight underdog at plus 104. Weeks at minus 112. I like money line Weeks if you are going to touch anything. Over 1.5 I think is fairly likely, but acknowledge the Lainesse power and also the fact that he might give it all he's got and gas out. It's minus 145. Weeks to win by decision, plus 400. Let's see, Weeks by KO, TKO, plus 265. I don't love the props. I would go money line, Darian Weeks, and I'm picking him to win by KO, TKO late. But a decision is also fairly likely against a dangerous puncher in Yohan Lainesse. Fight 2, Elise Reed, Melissa Martinez. Matchup here, not one that we're jumping at the bit to see. I've been on Melissa Martinez throughout the entire week. There's Elise Reed on the scale. There is Melissa Martinez. I mean, 13.5. She comes in underweight. I don't know. I see that as a bad sign. She's a very, I think, risky bet, especially as a good-sized favorite in her debut. She seems decent enough. Guys, I think Elise Reed is a sneaky dog bet as I slide a little bit out the way so I don't cut my face off here. But I think Elise Reed could be a decent dog play. I would not bet Melissa Martinez money line. I've picked her by a close decision. I think it's a 50-50 flip-flop fight. If you're betting, you're going Elise Reed. But I will ever so slightly lean Martinez decision here and stick with the pick. But damn, I'm definitely concerned that she loses a decision here. It's dog or pass, 100%. Elise Reed is plus 155. Martinez minus 175. As far as the over 2.5, minus 240, I think is pretty likely as well. The bet here has got to be Elise Reed as Melissa Martinez, like, she's holding on by an inch here as the pick, but that 13.5 doesn't look good. As far as the actual size of the two, it's not super concerning. It's similar. We'll pick Martinez ever so slightly. It could be a split decision, but plus money would be the way to bet here. Next fight of the night, Chad Anheliger versus Alateng Heili. I have been on Alateng throughout the week, but acknowledging Anheliger is a game underdog, certainly. There is Alateng Heili. There is Chad Anheliger. Both guys looking pretty fit on the scales. No issues here, but we had issues on fights on this card. We'll talk about some of the weight misses in a bit. Let me pull up the face-off between Anheliger and Alateng. There's the face-off there. Nothing from the weigh-ins is going to change much. I am going to ride with Alateng to win. I'm kind of leaning that KO side, but it might just be because Alateng's coming off that big KO, right? So the recency bias is seeing that. He packs a punch, but he can go long. I'll pick Alateng. If you're going to bet him, I would say you go money line side. KO is a possible prop to come through. We'll look at the odds here. As far as money line, it's minus 155 for Alateng, plus 152 for Chad Anheliger. Let's see. Alateng to win, KO is plus 375. Alateng by decision is plus 175. I will ride Alateng Heili for the win over Chad Anheliger. I think it's a close fight. And Anheliger also, like, you got to remember, he's nearly 36 now. And he's in the bantamweight division in just the second fight in the UFC. He's a vet of the fight game. And he's proven tough. He's turned his career around impressively and big dog win on the Contender Series. But I think Alateng could be too much for him here. Close fight, though. Next fight, Norma Dumont and Danyelle Wolf. I lean towards Danyelle Wolf throughout the week as an underdog. Things to like about her is her incredible fitness, her boxing background. Norma Dumont is going to be a game challenge for her. She's an experienced MMA veteran. She's the rightful favorite here, maybe a bit heavy as far as favorite status goes because Norma Dumont isn't really super explosive or powerful. I mean, she has a knockout loss to Megan Anderson. There's not, to me, like, super impressive qualities about her. She's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, Sanda champion. If she gets this fight to the floor, she wins. Danyelle Wolf, people say she has no punching power, and I understand that. Not known for the knockout. But these are 4-ounce gloves. A punch could sneak through right on the money. She's 39, though. I'm going to pick Danyelle Wolf still. I'm going to stick with her, but as you can see, there's concern on my face that she might be a bit of a risky dog attack. What I like about her is the athleticism, the boxing ability. What I'm concerned about is what happens if the fight goes to the floor. She should be capable, but ultimately, Norma Dumont is an experienced MMA veteran. Wolf the pick. Concerning, she is massive plus money, though. She's a huge underdog. Plus 340. Dumont around that minus 380 range. I don't like the props here. If Dumont were to win, I'd lean it towards sub. It's about plus 360. Wolf by KO is plus 800. I don't think it's unlikely, but not super likely. Wolf to win by decision, plus 540. Dumont by decision, minus 105. I do think there's a pretty good chance this fight goes long. This might be the worst fight of the night, where you see Dumont just lay from the guard and control Danyelle Wolf on top. But ultimately, I'm going to pick Wolf, which could really bite me in the ass. But I have to ride with my girl. I think she'll get it done. Close fight. But could be a mismatch. We'll see. I'm saying close fight. The odds are minus 450. Not necessarily a close fight, but maybe. Next one. Jake Collier, Chris Barnett. Barnett misses weight for heavyweight. He comes in at 267.5. Got to give love to Chris Barnett. He's had some rough personal life circumstances. Fiance dying, wife dying rather, day before his fight against Martin Boudet. Still goes in there and fights. I respect the hell out of him. And he's an OG at this point of the heavyweight fight game. And he's a fan favorite guy. I've picked Jake Collier throughout the week. I am riding with Jake Collier by decision. Chris Barnett, fun guy to watch. It'd be a cool story to see him win the fight for sure. And I don't think Barnett deserves to be this big of a favorite. We'll check out the scales. There is Chris Barnett, 267.5. There is Jake Collier, who comes in at 265. These are giant individuals as far as weight goes. I know Chris Barnett's only 5'9", but he's at the top of that heavyweight division as far as weight class. Let's pull up the face-off. You see a little bit, I guess a lot of bit of height advantage. Jake Collier's pretty decent. He's okay. Chris Barnett's fun and explosive, but Collier should probably realistically win this fight on the cards. Unanimous decision. Jake Collier is the official pick. I think he can beat Chris Barnett. As far as betting, Collier's minus 400. Barnett plus 400. Collier by decision plus 175. Barnett by decision plus 750. Fight goes the distance It's plus 120. I do think this fight goes the distance. It's not impossible we see a finish, but Collier not getting finishes at heavyweight. Barnett, I don't think lands a spinning kick to the temple on Jay Collier here. I think we're probably going the full 3 with these big boys, but it's heavyweight, so risky. As far as money line bets, you're probably not throwing down on Jay Collier at minus 400. Next fight of the night. Jamie Pickett and Denis Tiuliulin. I'm going to pick Jamie Pickett to win on the cards. But Tiuliulin's game as fuck as an underdog. I've been picking Pickett throughout the week. We'll check them out on the scales. Pickett looks very good. Incredible shape. Tiuliulin looks ready to rock as well. Has some cupping bruises around the shoulders. Getting that recovery. Let's pull up what we see here. Where is it? Jamie Pickett. Here we go. Let's pull up this face-off. Pretty similar as far as size goes. Not a big difference. If you ask me who has the power edge, I would lean it towards Tiuliulin. So maybe more likely he finishes the fight. If you were going to ask me who has the edge as far as distance management, slightly Pickett, but not even, man. Pickett doesn't manage distance great. He's pretty quick, athletic. He's decent against the cage. Tiuliulin's got decent pop in the hands, and he definitely could touch up Pickett. I think Pickett is going to try to fight from range a lot, and if he does close distance, it's against the cage for sure. I think Pickett could edge out a decision, but Tiuliulin by KO is definitely not crazy here. Let's look at the odds. Jamie Pickett, minus 127. Tiuliulin, plus 117. Tiuliulin by sub, plus 2,000. Tiuliulin to win by KO TKO, plus 370. Pickett to win by decision, plus 240. I'm going to pick Pickett. Very close money favorite, near even lines to get it done by a decision here, but close fight. Tiuliulin could crack a bit, so that chin might get tested. Next fight, Jailton Almeida versus Anton Turkalj. I'm riding with Jailton Almeida. It just blows my mind how different Anton looks from this picture now with the long flow he's got going. Jailton Almeida's a problem, I think, in the light heavyweight division. I know this fight's at a catch weight 220. I don't think Almeida is a real heavyweight necessarily. I don't necessarily think he'd be top line there, but I think he'll do well against a lot of the guys. He was supposed to fight Shamil Abdurakhimov. I've picked Almeida. Everybody's picked Almeida. There's really no surprise there. Let's see if we can find Turkalj. There's Turkalj. I think Almeida should win and look pretty dominant doing it. I think the ground is where he gets it done. Known for his subs, but I'm actually going to say he gets it done by TKO, ground and pound, in this fight against Turkalj. I mean, Anton's also undefeated, man. So you got to respect the dude coming in here. 8-0, taking this fight on very short notice is a huge opportunity. He's a Swedish prospect. I mean, yeah, Almeida's physically more imposing, but I don't think that necessarily matters here. We're going to see Jailton Almeida by a decision. By a KO TKO, not a decision. If we saw him by decision, I think all that does is kind of drop the hype a bit and jumps Anton's stock through the fucking roof. Because right now, Jailton Almeida is that Brazilian prospect in the light heavyweight or heavyweight division, depending where he wants to stick. I think he's more naturally a light heavyweight, because he can weigh in at 216.5. A lot of these heavyweights can't. But if he is going to be a real heavyweight, I'd like to see him weigh in at 235 minimum, 241, something around those lines. Even 230 flat, but in the 220s, I think it's a little bit on the lighter side for heavyweight. But Jailton Almeida, catchweight fight, should get the win over Anton Turkalj. As far as odds, it's not money line playable. It's minus 595 Jailton, plus 525 Turkalj. Turkalj, whoever the fuck I'm saying it. We know who the favorite and who the dog is in this fight. Jailton to win, KO TKO, you're going to find it at plus 350 because he is a submission ace. Sub is plus 100. Inside distance, minus 240. Jailton Almeida should win, and I'm going to say KO TKO. I think he stops it with ground and pound because Turkalj might be able to defend, but don't be surprised if there's a submission by Jailton. Almeida, confident pick, and the lines 100% reflect that. Next fight, Hakeem Dawodu misses weight, 149.5. And he looked drained. He looked shredded out. He had a hard weight cut. I don't know what went wrong. It's unfortunate that he missed weight. I don't really see him as a lightweight. I think he's got to get the weight shit under control. He's only 5'8". There's the face-off there. I mean, I will say Dawodu packs a good amount of, like, firm muscle tissue. Listen, regardless of the weight miss, he should beat a Julian Erosa. I think you should knock him out. I think you should find a lot of opening striking on Julian Erosa, who's a very awkward kickboxer. Hands are low, weird movement, odd guy to read. I think Dawodu doesn't fall into those traps. I think he's just clearly technically superior striking, and you're going to see him show that he's the better stand-up fighter here, and I don't really necessarily see Erosa having much offensive wrestling success. Dawodu for the win. I'm going to say KO TKO. The weight miss, little concerning, but he still should win the fight. As far as the scales, there is Erosa, and there is a disgustingly lean Dawodu. I mean, look at this fucking weird top ab here. Looks like a fucking growth. Like that almost looks like a lamb or something. What do they say? Like what do you count sheep? It almost looks like a fucking jumping sheep, man. That's the weirdest ab I've ever seen. That looks like a growth. That's insane. Hakeem Dawodu is extremely lean, and he missed that weight. As far as the face-off, let me pull it up here. And play it. Bop, bop, bop. Put it again on the screen. The pick is Dawodu. Weight miss. Concerning nonetheless. As far as the odds, though, I do think it's playable for Dawodu at -200. Julian Erosa is +185. As I go to open this thing with no cover over here. +185 Erosa, I don't think highly likely. I think it's actually a close line for Dawodu, and I think he looks dominant here. Assuming everything is okay after the rebound from the weight miss. Dawodu win KO TKO +245. I do think Dawodu's got a pretty good shot of winning this fight. A little scary that he missed weight, but he should get it done. Dawodu victorious on Saturday, I predict here, confidently. As far as what's up next, it is a brand new main card, at least a brand new big three. Smash the like button if you guys haven't yet. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's talk the first matchup. Johnny Walker, Ion Cutelaba. I have been picking sober Johnny Walker. He got off the CBD. Granted, CBD don't really get you high, but he talks about a little bit of that THC makes him paranoid. I'm not going to really say that's my main reason for picking him, but there is a bit of, even if it's not true, a placebo in the mind that now he thinks he's going to be better. Cutelaba the Hulk comes out ferocious. He does have good wrestling. He's super aggressive. He doesn't know how to go backwards. Johnny Walker is extremely dangerous and a tricky striker. Bad roll for him. 1-4 in the last 5. Johnny Walker doesn't have that same ability that he seemed to when he burst onto the UFC scene because he looked like the guy. I think Johnny Walker is going to get a TKO. And he's going to stop Ion Cutelaba in this fight. And I think he'll look pretty good. As far as the scales, let's pull him up. There's Cutelaba, incredible shape as he always is. Johnny Walker, shredded out, ripped, ready to rock. Let me pull up the face-off here. Face-off between these two. Johnny Walker with a little bit of that height advantage. What's he, 5 inches taller? Reach edge too. But Cutelaba's going to get inside. Trust me, he's going to rush forward. I think Johnny Walker can win. I know the chin is something people are concerned about, and it's understandable. I guess if you are looking to play maybe a safer bet here, you'd go playing fight ends inside of the distance, but it's -350, so probably not. -230 for under 2.5. -140 for under 1.5. Johnny Walker money line, +190. Cutelaba is -195 at best value. Walker to win by KO TKO, +300 money. I'm riding Johnny Walker for the knockout. I'm going to ride with my guy to pull it off here. An upset, Cutelaba. Good fight. Main card is sweet. Next one, it is catchweight, 140. Macy Chiasson, Irene Aldana. You got to go Aldana. Come on. Come on. You have to go Aldana. She's got the better hands, more finishing ability. If I say someone's getting knocked out here, you would say it's probably Chiasson getting slumped. If that's the only thing you knew about the fight, you'd assume Aldana wins by knockout. She's the pick. I like her boxing a lot. I like her clinch defense. I think she's a solid fighter. Macy Chiasson's a tall girl and she's tricky, but I don't think she'll get control of Irene Aldana here. As far as the scales, pull them up. There is Chiasson. There is Aldana. And we will get up the face-off as well. Not that the scales really are going to change much in this fight, because these girls are pretty close to the same height. I mean, Aldana's 5'9", Chiasson 5'11". Close stats. A little bit of a reach edge, 3.5 inches Chiasson. It's not major. There's the face-off. I think Aldana's going to get the win. I think she might knock Chiasson out, but the official pick is going to be Aldana via decision. As far as the odds, Aldana minus 162, Chiasson plus 152. Let's see here. Not Chiasson. Aldana, KO TKO, plus 395. Aldana by a decision is just plus 160. What is it? Fight goes distance. Minus 180 expected to, but Aldana does have finishing ability. I like the Aldana money line attack. I think she gets the win here over Macy Chiasson in a good ladies bout in the main card. Let's jump to the featured bout of the night. Brand new matchup. It features Li Jingliang taking on Daniel Rodriguez, giving up 10 pounds in weight. 179 to 170.5. 8.5 pounds. Daniel Rodriguez has a bit of that advantage, right? Not having to cut as much. But if there's one man you don't count out, it's the Leech man. Very weird stylistic matchup change, because you have Leech, who is a dangerous power puncher, Rodriguez, an talented striker, someone that can sit in there and give problems to, I feel like, a lot of the guys that don't have the range significantly on them. When I was looking at this one, I'm like, short notice, we're playing it. We got to look at the scales a little bit here before I give it away. There is Li Jingliang. See if we can find D-Rod. I'm confused because, yeah, he was supposed to fight Tony Ferguson. There is D-Rod. D-Rod's a little soft in the middle here. I know it's that 180 catch weight. Jingliang looks in really good shape. Incredible shape. I got to pick Li. I got to stick with Leech, guys. I picked him to win against T-Ferg. I'm going to pick him to win here. I'm actually going to lean it by a decision because I got to respect the stand-up game. This is not an easy fight, though, for either. Let's look at the face-off. Similar statures, but you see, like, Jingliang just has a bit more muscle mass, a little bit leaner than D-Rod. D-Rod looking a little soft. I think the Jingliang power, speed, and explosiveness is a big difference maker. I'm going to ride with Leech to win, but I am going to say decision. As far as the odds, Li is actually a slight dog. Plus 135. Daniel Rodriguez, the minus 145 favorite. This is very interesting. I didn't know the odds at all going into this. As far as props, over a round and a half, yes. Over 2.5, probably. I feel like Li by decision, plus 345, but I don't love the bet. I'd rather moneyline Leech. KO for Leech would be plus 350. I don't like the props here. I think you moneyline underdog attack Li Jingliang to beat Daniel Rodriguez. But remember, he is giving up a bit of weight. I still think he's ready for this fight. Good stuff. Jingliang for the win over D-Rod. Short notice fight. Both guys respect for taking it, but especially Leech for giving up weight here and taking this matchup to save the card. Co-main event. It is the most hated man in MMA now, Khamzat Chimaev, versus Kevin Holland. The crowd booed the hell out of Khamzat Chimaev. I've never seen the disdain for Khamzat like that. He was the guy. He was supposed to be the next superstar. I think now he's the next villain. I think he's going to be hated after this. Even what he said, F you, Chechnya, F you guys, shut up. I'm like, wow, Khamzat, you're losing the fans and they're turning against you? Great way to sell. Khamzat Chimaev, the villain, is the pick for the win. I think he beats Kevin Holland. How does he get it done? If you're talking about for his stock, KO TKO, I think, is a bit necessary in this matchup. I think it has to happen. See, we have 5-5s, which is so fucking weird to me, right? This matchup now, 5-5s. Khamzat is the pick. How does the method of victory come together? I'm going to lean it ever so slightly towards TKO, but I wouldn't be shocked if Holland goes the full 5. The real concern is Khamzat's gas tank. Kevin Holland's a long dude who can get controlled on the floor but still survive. What if Chimaev gasses? This might be a very similar looking fight to maybe like a Vettori fight, but I feel like Khamzat Chimaev just has more ferocious ground fight. He's better than a Vettori. Scratch that. But I got to respect Holland, man. Not an easy fight. I'll say Chimaev, KO, TKO, late, 3 or 4. If he does it early, jumps the stock a ton. But Kevin Holland's not going down easy. He has bad takedown defense. He's notorious for it. Not necessarily that bad, but definitely not that good. Solid jiu-jitsu off the mat that might make it hard for Chimaev to get a ton of ferocious ground and pound off early. So I'm going to pick Chimaev later by KO, TKO. We'll look at the fighters on the scales. There is Kevin Holland looking incredible. And there is Khamzat Chimaev, who missed weight for that Nate Diaz fight. And this whole card is no longer the same. This is nuts. These guys were very intense throughout the week. They are the reason the press conference was canceled, essentially. I mean, at least Khamzat, he had a piece of it with everyone, because I know he also kind of got into it with Diaz as well. What a fucking card. What a change. What a shift. This is blowing my mind. It was an intense face-off. A lot of shit talk between these two. They're ready to go. We're picking Chimaev. Damn, what a fight. What a shift. This card's crazy. This card's insane. Day before the fights, we have a whole new card. Chimaev is a massive minus 500 favorite. Holland plus 450 is the dog. But hey, he's not minus 1,000. So if you're thinking about parlaying him, maybe a better option here. In Kevin Holland, notoriously bad takedown defense. Chimaev KO TKO is plus 140. What's Chimaev decision? Plus 300? I think we do go over a round and a half. At minus 180, I think Kevin Holland might be able to sit in there for a while, guys, and go long. 5 rounds. Love it. 2 5-round fights, main and co-main event. I think things might have just got better. Khamzat Chimaev for the win. KO TKO. Let's talk the main event. If you guys haven't, make sure to smash that like button. And if you're new, subscribe. It's Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson. I'm going to be picking Nate Diaz to win a decision in the fight that we probably should have saw years and years ago. Like, I am incredibly happy to see these two throw down. I think Diaz is going to touch up Ferguson a bit with the boxing, but Ferguson will have moments. I think the grappling kind of cancels one another out. I think the striking, Diaz has a little bit better straight shots, but Ferguson's super tricky to deal with. The gas tank of Ferguson has always proven to be there, so now Nate's going to be there with somebody who can go long too. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys work over 5 rounds. I'm kind of seeing it like close as hell, and I could see Diaz taking an extremely close decision. If Ferguson got the win, there would be no shock here. Crazy to see this fight shaken up, because I mean, Diaz was preparing for Khamzat Chimaev's wrestling assault. Tony Ferguson preparing for a power puncher and Leech. Now he fights a volume guy in Nate Diaz, and Diaz fighting Ferguson, the most, awkward, tricky style you can find, the most violent guy maybe in the lightweight division, at least at one point. And they're doing it at welterweight. 171 each. Both guys looked, relatively decent on the scales. There's Tony Ferguson. There is Nate Diaz. Not much muscle on either of these guys. And they fight each other now. This matchup makes a lot more sense if you really look at it. I think this is maybe better. Diaz has a legitimate chance to win this fight, as does Tony Ferguson. Whereas both of them were fairly large underdogs in matchups against some dangerous welterweights. And now they main event the card. Incredible. We're picking Diaz for the win by decision. But T. Ferg's in the fight, without a doubt. It's super close. Minus 130, actually upwards of plus 100 for Tony Ferguson. Diaz at plus 115. A pick'em's fight between these two. I think we're going longer here. If you have like an over 2.5, it's minus 215. Over 4.5, minus 117. I do think we go over 4.5. What a fucking crazy turn of events. I don't see either of these guys getting subbed by one another. I don't see either of these guys getting knocked out by one another. I think it's low likelihood. If Ferguson got knocked out by Diaz, I'd be a bit surprised. We're going 5 rounds, and it's going to be close. I'm going to pick Diaz by a close decision, but it could flip the other way on Ferguson. Very risky bet on the main event. This card just got crazier. It's insane. Overall, though, I'm very excited for it. I will be live for the entire thing, so make sure you tune into the channel here. Subscribe if you haven't already. I will send you guys off with some parlays. I don't know. Do you want to touch these new matchups? You're probably saying hell to the no if you're looking to conserve your wealth. We'll go Irene Aldana, Dawodu. Dawodu missed weight, but I'm still confident that he wins. Plus 132. If you added in Jailton, it'd bring you to plus 170. And if you add Chimaev at the top, plus 217. I do think this is a playable parlay, but still kind of on the risky-ish side. I don't know if I'd want to include the Ferguson-Diaz fight. Like, I think maybe you sit back and enjoy the Legends throwdown. But if you play Leach plus money, it'd bring you to plus 630. Johnny Walker, a valuable underdog, brings you to plus 1907. That's wide. Holy shit. If we took off these huge favorites, what are we still looking like? We take off Khamzat at the top. Irene Aldana, Hakeem Dawodu, and double dog attack on Leach and Johnny Walker, plus 1367. Darian Weeks, plus 2,590. And then if we go crazy and we add Almeida and Chimaev in, plus 3,579. The Mystic Mac parlay, the lottery ticket of the week right there. But I really like that Aldana Dawodu play. I'm just a little bit more concerned because of that weight miss. And Weeks is a good close plus money addition. Overall, UFC 279, Diaz versus Ferguson. It's going to be a banger. I hope you guys enjoyed. Smash the like button if you're new, subscribe. Turn those post notifications on and make sure to share the video as well. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And if you don't have anything to say, as always, drop a W in the chat. Much love, my people. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, premiere of the new studio as well. Looking forward to it. Peace, everyone, and I'll see you all for the Fight Companion.